Margaret Olley was the queen of Australian painting, just as happy at the easel or the centre of attention as the artist's subject. She was there in early 2011 when her portrait by Ben Quilty won the Archibald Prize, making her the only person whose face has carried off the coveted award twice.
Because it went back years.
Her sparkling eyes and cheeky sense of humour were a trademark, as they were this day when she said she had considered Quilty's request to pose nude.
He did ask me to pose naked, and I thought, will I or won't I? And I thought, no.
Margaret Olley was born in Lismore in New South Wales on the 24th of June 1923. She moved with her parents at a young age to far north Queensland. Her artistic talent was nurtured in Brisbane in her teens when she attended Somerville House, a girls' boarding school. Art school followed, first at Brisbane Technical College, then East Sydney Tech. Always outspoken, decades later, Margaret Olley joined the campaign to preserve the Tech as the National Art School.
You do not need a university degree to become a painter or a sculptor.
From the 1940s, Margaret Olley became part of the Sydney painting set, counting among her friends artists who came to dominate Australia's art world. Her first of more than 60 exhibitions was in 1948 at Sydney's Macquarie Galleries. That same year, a portrait of her by Dobell won the Archibald Prize. Margaret Olley's signature became her luscious still life works, mostly painted in her famously cluttered house and garden in Paddington, in Sydney's eastern suburbs. From humble subjects, she found greatness and grew to become one of Australia's most coveted artists.
Oh, how delicious.
She was also a renowned host, attracting the rich, the famous and the merely curious to her home. Two major Sydney retrospectives, in 1990 at the S.H. Irwin Gallery and in 1996 at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, cemented her place in Australia's art history. But art was just one aspect of her fame. Margaret Olley, or Oll as her friends called her, was a generous benefactor and a woman renowned for her crackling wit. Equally, on a bad day, she could be argumentative and cantankerous. New South Wales Art Gallery director Edmund Capon was a recipient of her kindness. She donated almost $7 million to the gallery in works and cash, most notably a cheque for $1 million towards the $16 million purchase of a Paul Cezanne painting.
I said, if you find a Cezanne, I'll give you $1 million. So that was like an incentive to go and look for a Cezanne.
On the day, she had trouble counting the zeros in her cheque.
That's $1 million. Don't put 100 million, it might get bounced.
But there was a flip side to the smiling public face. Margaret Olley battled depression, alcoholism and a tilt at suicide.
I thought I was dying. I really wanted to kill myself, to be quite honest, but I thought I'd make a mess of it.
Friends rallied to celebrate her 80th birthday in 2003, sharing her joy at surviving her blackest period.
I feel it's about somebody else. I feel it's about my mother's 80th birthday and not mine.
2 years on, Meg Stewart's biography revealed much of the artist's private life.
We praise today 'neath Edmund's noble vault a girl the Queen might once have made a dame. Sprightly and always generous to a fault, she stands here, like her paintings, in a frame.
There were revelations of her friendships and lovers, including a marriage proposal to Donald Friend, who was homosexual. The closest she came to marriage was with her longtime partner, theatre director Sam Hughes.
I don't like to be owned. I'm a free spirit. And I hope I always remain a free spirit, because being a free spirit allows you to do whatever you want to do.
In later years, Margaret Olley cut a familiar figure on her walking frame in her beloved art galleries, leaving everyone in her wake with lasting impressions.
You don't walk away from meeting someone like Margaret often, someone who has such an incredibly left-of-centre view of the world, and so refreshing. There's not much you can say to her that she hasn't thought through and she doesn't have an argument for.
She received official accolades, a member, then a companion of the Order of Australia, honorary degrees and a declaration as a national treasure.
They look marvellous with the cornflowers.
But Margaret Olley's legacy is greater. She's survived by thousands of her paintings, lavish gifts to a string of city and regional galleries, and unforgettable memories among friends and artists of an extraordinary woman. Anne Maria Nicholson, ABC News.